Your first day in prison at 16! 16! Alright, what's going on YouTube? So people have been asking me now for a long period of time to share my stories, and it's about time I started breaking loose. What I'm really hoping is that some of these stories are going to help some people. Other stories might just be a little bit for entertainment, but in any case, this is one of those stories. So, the first day, my first day in prison at 16 years old. So the backstory to being locked up, I'm not going to go into that in this video. That'll be broken down in other videos and some of the things that I got up to. But like I say, we're going to stick to the subject matter at hand, which was my first day in prison. So, long story short, obviously I was arrested. I was arrested at my home. My home was probably about 40 minutes away from the actual police station. So I was arrested in High Wycombe, and at the time the police that arrested me, they were from Watford. It was the Hertfordshire Constabulary or whatever the fuck they're called. Anyway, so they took me back to Watford station. It was a bit of a fucking drive, and basically, went through all the bullshit interview process. At the time, because I was only 16, I actually had my old man there next to me. So R.I.P. Dad, but yeah, my old man was actually sat there next to me during the interview process when they gave me all the bollocks, blah blah blah. And then they kept me in custody overnight so that I could go to court the next morning because they didn't want to give me bail. So I had a shitload of different charges. Again, I'll probably break them down in another video, but long story short, I had things like witness intimidation, aggravated burglary, violent disorder, affray, multiple ABHs, multiple GBHs. Fuck me. Yeah, I had a lot of charges. Anyway, so they hold me in custody, they hold me overnight, and next morning I go to the magistrate court, which is connected at the time. I don't know about now, this is going back about 16 years, but at the time, the magistrate court was actually next to Watford Police Station. So next morning, they escort me over to the courthouse, and I was fucking there all fucking day. And I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I don't know, they were useless that fucking day. Whatever they were doing, they was taking their fucking time. First it was like, oh, you're going to be in this morning, sat in a fucking cell for 3-4 hours. Then it hit lunchtime. Obviously they give you a little bullshit microwave meal. Still fucking waiting, a couple more hours, and it was fucking late in the afternoon when I eventually got up and saw the judge and all that bollocks. And my brief, gave him the backstory. This is his defence, blah blah blah. This is why he deserves, to be let out. Why we want bail? He's not a flight risk. He's just a kid. Blah 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 blah. And obviously the prosecution, the CPS, Crown Prosecution Service, they're pushing to hold me because of the nature of my crimes and also because of how many charges I had at that time. So, long story short, I was remanded in custody. I was kind of expecting it as well because I already had 2 Code Ds already in prison. And Code D, for you that don't know, that's co-defendant. So that's basically somebody who you've, committed a crime with or you've been co-charged with. They're your co-defendant. So 2 of my Code Ds was already sent down already. Fuck me, their charges, same as mine, numerous fucking robberies, aggravated burglaries, violent disorders, GBH, fighting, firearms, and you fucking name it. The charges was like this long, So I had a pretty good idea that I was going to be remanded anyway, but the worst part about it, to be honest with you, was just all fucking day in the cells with just nothing, And anybody who knows what those cells are like at the courthouse or at the police station, they're fucking worse than prison cells, It's like the isolation wing on prison almost. There's fucking nothing in them. They stink. Motherfuckers are pissed everywhere. They're spewed all over the floor. They don't clean that shit. They don't give a fuck, They make it uncomfortable as fuck for you, The toilets are fucking disgusting in the rooms. Yeah, they're not fun places to be, let me tell you that. Anyway, so they remind me in custody, and I remember when they reminded me, I just remember thinking to myself, fuck, this is not good. I was pissed, I'm not gonna lie, I was probably more pissed off than I was scared, but I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely a little bit nervous. You're 16 years old, first time you've been sent down to prison or anything like that. My only awareness of prison prior to that time was basically, I guess, TV and movies, and like I say, my 2 Code Ds had been sent down before me, but that was recently. That was only like a week or 2 before me. That was not months and months prior, So, long story short, the sweat van comes, or, whatever the fuck you want to call it. In UK, that's normally what we call them, sweat vans, which is basically a truck, or excuse me, a van. It's almost like a minibus, They have different sizes as far as I know. Some of them, I think, sit like 8 people, some fucking 6, some 12. I'm not an expert on that by any means, but I know that the one I was in probably had 5 or 6 seats in it. So when you go into it, it's almost like it has a super narrow corridor, and every single, it's like blocked off. There's like almost like mini cells, if you want to say that, mini cells on the left and on the right, and it's like you walk in through the door and you sit down in your seat and you're just in a fucking box. You can see outside. Obviously outside all the windows are blacked out, and at the top there's like a little mini vent, I guess, just for airflow and that. I don't remember if the doors went right down to the ground. I think there was a small gap, but the seats are plastic. There's no seat belts. Obviously, you're just fucking sat there, and your ass is killing you after about 10 minutes, man. Seriously, they're fucking uncomfortable as fuck. So you want to hope that your prison is close to where that courthouse is. Let me tell you that. Anyway, So then they tell me eventually when I'm getting onto the you know, to the meat wagon or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the sweat box. I was like, Gov, where am I going? And they said Feltham, and I was like, you fucking bastard. I mean, fuck me, I knew about Feltham, you know, like I just heard about it just from being out on the streets and other kids that had previously caused chaos. Feltham was not at the time the place you wanted to fucking go. But again, I was kind of expecting it because I knew that that's where my codees had been sent already. So again, I was kind of half expecting to be going there as well. So he says Feltham, I'm like, alright, fuck it, here we go, you know, gladiator school, whatever, let's see what happens. Now, it was so fucking late by the time that I was seen, and then by the time the fucking sweat van actually got there to pick me up to go to prison, I don't remember exactly what time it was, but I know it was dark, and I know by the time I got to the prison, that all the other inmates was already on lockdown, or banged up for the night, that's what we normally say, you know. And I got there, they processed me real quick, they strip searched me, they did a little bit of paperwork, they honestly did not fuck around with me the first night, because there was nothing to fuck around with. And honestly, there was no major things that happened necessarily that first day when I turned up to the prison, because, you know, it wasn't like there was a fucking riot going on. It was more the time that I came in, it was the reason why it was so quiet. Everyone was banged up, watching their TVs. I could see a lot of the lights on when I was walking through to the induction wing. They gave me a microwavable meal, and the gov that I was with, or the screw as we call them, they actually said, your code D is still on this wing, one of them, you know. So, they said, do you want to go and say hello? And I couldn't fucking believe it at the time. I was thinking, really? I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. So they told me what cell it was, and it was upstairs. So I walked upstairs, and I walked over to the cell. And the cells have got like there's like flaps on them. So I opened up the flap real slowly, and I saw my code D. We'll just call him Scotty, you know. He sat there on his bed, scratching his big belly, you know. He had a gut on him, and he had a fucking hairy belly. And he sat there watching TV. And so I looked through the flap, and I went, oi, Scotty! And he turned around, he looked at the fucking window, and I was like, look at you cunt. I'm like, you fucking think you're at home or something? Look at you fucking sat there scratching your belly watching TV, you think you're on fucking holiday. And he's like, oi, is that Broadhurst? Is that Broadhurst? He fucking walks over to the flat, and we start bantering, going backwards and forwards, and I don't know what happened. I mean, it's weird, you know, I almost felt like crying, but I just started laughing, and I said, because we both got arrested similar times, you know, like he was a couple of weeks prior to me, but I knew that he was facing a lot of charges as well. And I just remember saying to him, mate, we're fucked, you know that, right? We're proper fucked. And he fucking was laughing as well. He's like, I fucking know, man, we're fucked, man, we're going to be going down for time. I was like, oh, fuck, man. I didn't know what else to say, you know. We had so many cases that there were so many things to talk about with different witnesses turning up, who's going to say what the stories are, what did you say when you was arrested, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, you know. But, in any case, that was my first day, or first night in prison, if you want to call it. It was pretty uneventful for the most part, but yeah, that was the first night that I got there. They banged me up in my cell, single-man cell, and I went to bed, you know. And like I say, apart from the fact that it was uneventful, the only other thing that I really remember at that time was just the fact that I had this overwhelming sense of, like, the whole situation was surreal to me, you know. I mean, I remember sitting there thinking, fuck, I'm actually in prison, you know, like, for years I thought, I'll never go to prison, you know, fuck, I'm never going to fucking do anything that serious, you know, but I guess every time I went out and I was committing crimes, first of all, I didn't really know how serious the crimes were. Was I to be, you know, like, I guess arrested, charged, you know, then found guilty of them? I didn't know how serious they were. And I also just didn't think I was going to get caught. I'm not going to lie, I was super fucking reckless as, you know, I was reckless as fuck, you know. But anyway, that was my first night in prison, so that's the story for you there. And we're going to be continuing them here on. Like I said, I hope these videos help someone. Otherwise, maybe they'll just offer some kind of entertainment for you. And I'm out.